For today, our guest is a management trainee in the hotel industry. Please welcome Vincent Que. Hi, Vince. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a busy day, but I'm good.
First, let's talk about your career path of the hotel industry.
Actually, Earl, I didn't start exactly in the hotel industry when I first graduated from college. So if you want to talk back about college, I actually studied abroad in New Zealand. I graduated in 2 degrees, Bachelor of Commerce major in accounting and a Bachelor of Arts majoring in foreign language. When I used to work there, I would say life was very simple. It was very straightforward, 8 to 5. No one bothers you after 5 o'clock. So when I graduated and came back here to the Philippines, I didn't actually join the hotel to start with. I actually joined two BPO companies before I actually went on board in the hotel in March 2017.
What made you decide to join the hotel industry?
Actually, it wasn't the decision that I had. After working 14 all the way up to prior to March 2017 for the more or less 3 years, I started another employment, worked in the BPO industry, by the way, under Australian counts. Even though I'm here in Cebu, it's as if I never left New Zealand. How I came to join the hotel, it came to the point where everything was just too comfortable. I remember this quote from Leonard Sweet. If you like a comfortable life, do not follow Jesus. If you want a life that's all planned out, you can already control it and you know what's going to happen, don't follow Jesus. Long story short, faith is not harbor hugging, it's bungee jumping. Came to the point of time where I realized, so what's next after all this? As I continued to grow in the faith in church, starting from just purely a Sunday goer to attending small groups, partaking activities, eventually your faith begins to grow to wonder, 4 o'clock, I'm already out. What's next? So that's when I joined the hotel. It was not an easy path. It was not an easy decision. But I guess God never reveals all the answers. But He just says that He will be there with you once you finally decide to follow Him.
How is your journey right now?
So every day is a work in progress. Every day is not perfect. And every day presents a different challenge. No one day is perfect and no one day is the same as the next day. Generally, you can tell what's going to happen, but specifically, it's not exactly going to be the same every day and every week. And that's why this hotel industry is the perfect place to test your faith. And it really brings out the fact that if you just want a simple life, if you just want a life that's easy, that you can tell that, oh, by 5 o'clock, I'm already out, so I can do whatever I want. And I know what I'm going to do after 5. This is pretty much every day in the hotel industry is bungee jumping.
How are you dealing with these?
Every day you have to have your quiet time. This is where God reveals what He wants for you. And this is possibly the only time a day you probably get at least 30 minutes of calm and meditation and reflection and prayer to hear what God really has to say, to just your time to speak with the Lord, just you and Him. Recently, I came to realize that this hotel has become a mission field. I don't have to go so far, and I don't have to go overseas to go on a mission somewhere like China or North Korea or Russia just to preach the gospel. This work that I'm in right now, this is my pulpit already. Just seeing everyone here that this is your flock. I would consider myself the shepherd, possibly even the pastor per se, because the church is not just four walls. The church are the people. As long as two or three are gathered, that's already a church. We have over 100 so employees that I see every day. That's already an opportunity to win souls for God's kingdom.
Your faith has been central in everything you do towards your work. How does it become central?
If you don't have faith, I don't think you will last long in this industry or possibly even in life, especially with the generation nowadays where they're telling you that, oh, why should you try so hard? Take it easy. If you quit already, it's worth it. Even though it may not exactly be what I wanted, but I don't think God gives you what you want. I believe God gives you what you need. If you come to think about it and just seeing how it's already been running ever since I joined Hotel in 2017 all the way up to present, it's still a learning experience. There is that satisfaction and that joy that whatever you're doing this not just for yourself, not just for our own family's gain, but you're doing for others. What I noticed lang with Earl na the hotel, due to its central location, that's a place where everyone comes together. It's like a converging point. I meet everyone, people from our own church sometimes hangs out there every now or then. So you can say it's truly a mission field in itself. Everyone that you meet, even though it's just a coffee in our cafe, that's already a chance to just reach out to them and be a friend.
You are actually determined to fulfill your purpose and you're sticking to the direction that you have.
It just has to continue. It was already there because I don't think anyone else would do that. No one else would do that for me except us.
Right. So just to give context, Vincent and I are actually in the same church. Vincent is serving as part of the ushering team, which is not far from what he does in the hotel. So giving hospitality to others who are in need. Now, since you mentioned about your profession as part of the mission field, take us into the day, into a life of a hotel management trainee.
Every morning I wake up 6:30 a.m., give or take. Just a simple breakfast of a smoothie, go straight to the hotel, go to the gym, clock in. I clock in like just like anybody else. There's no exceptions. Even though I'm a management, I still clock in and I clock out every day. So I clock in, go to the gym. Since no one is at the gym at early morning, more or less 7 a.m., the gym is still empty. So that's where I do my exercises all the way until 8 a.m. Even though it may not take 1 hour, but at least, even though a few minutes, at least you do it every day from Monday to Saturday, which is when I work. Other than exercise, that's also time I spend my quiet time to reflect, to listen to podcasts, do a reading from my devotional, and even a Bible app has a verse of the day. After that, 8 o'clock all the way onwards, it may not end till the end of the day is work. I can't really put exactly what happens in the work because the nature of our work, we see different guests come in, different functions that happen every day. They're not the same. So there's no particular one size fits all to my schedules. Even my time that I end work doesn't end at 5. It may not even end at 6. Sometimes it may even at 7. And then after that, I just do a little bit more reflecting time because that's the time when all my staff goes home. So I'm the only one in the office. So that's my chance to clear up my admin work. At the same time, seek his word while no one else is hearing. Then go home.
How are you keeping up each day?
If it wasn't for the people that God provided, our brothers and sisters in our church, you included, even other brothers and sisters that may not be from our church, but fellow brothers and sisters in the faith, if it wasn't for them, I would have left this mission field quite a long time ago.
That's great to hear. And thank you for that, Vince. So, what are the challenges that you frequently face as a hotel management trainee?
Dealing with people. Most of the time, they are not people of the same faith as us or me. And the sad part is even though they say they are Christians, you struggle to find how does God reflect in them or how they project God in their dealings. So that's sometimes as Christians, this is where we have to do kita na lang mag-adjust. In other words, I'll tell you that's not easy, but I think that's what we were called for. We were called to be different to the world. If we have to react negatively to everything that has been said to us or to every difficult and honor that's been given like from our guests, I guess what makes us different to them, we're no different.
Yeah, patience is really a thing you need to stretch on whether you like it or not. Yeah,
And even if it's people that say they are Christians, what's also pretty pait pod kayo, but like God says, it must take the higher ground.
I think it's also an opportunity that if we are really the genuine Christians, then I guess we need to show how we really are. We have nothing to hide if that's the case.
Yeah. But also, that's always a work in progress because we are still humans after all. Eventually, we will get tired of hearing, and there are so much things that we cannot bear anymore. There's only so much that we can take.
Right.
When you go home, supposedly leave your work behind. It's like you bring home work, or work carries on even on Sundays, even on Sunday lunch. So that's one of the challenges and one of the peculiarities, the uniqueness of my situation, I guess.
Now, what about your learnings? What have you learned so far with the challenges you're facing as a hotel management trainee?
Let go of any expectations. Why is that so? Because, like I said, even those who say they are followers of Christ, they're not perfect either. As humans we are, we depend on people like syempre, saligmata that they'll do their work. You would kind of expect that they will at least give you a heads up that if di na sila kaya. But sometimes people just out of the blue just leave you on scene, leave you hanging, or they just leave without a word. You just live without expectations. The only one you can really trust is God Himself. That's what I've learned throughout this whole journey. As management, you have people under you. It's natural to have trust in people. That's part. You cannot operate a business without trust. You have to give some of your trust to people that are below you. Human as they are, there's only so much that they can do. Even some works that I need to do, I have to set that aside just so that I can help them fulfill their roles, even though it's not my job. but someone has to adjust. When we gather with family and it's the temptation to start talking about work, I take the stand to really change the subject and bring something more positive into it, like talking about the Lord. Recently, we started our quality circles in our own family. We sing one song, then we read one verse in the Bible and meditate on it. We don't usually do that for the past several years. So growing, our family was not born Christian or born again. So this was a big turning point in our family's life. And this just happened just this year, early this year.
Oh, that's nice. How are your dynamics now as a family?
I can say right now, by God's grace, I can see that there are changes. They're already toning down. At least they're more accepting of what we do in our church. They don't see it as weird anymore. They don't see it as very different or out of this world. So now, at least I'm grateful that they accept that we can have a quality circle. We don't have to talk about work. We don't have to talk about anything negative for at least 10 to 15 minutes.
That's good. The hotel industry, as I observe, is a people-based industry because, correct me if I'm wrong, that if you don't have your people, then the industry won't thrive. And I know that you have mentioned some of the challenges you face when dealing with people. What are the good sides when you deal with the people in the hotel?
By God's grace, most of the time they do listen, they do comply, and at least I know that I'm thankful that God has blessed us with people who stayed. Some stayed for as long as ever since the hotel was still built 30 years ago. Even from our first hotel 30 years ago, they're still here right now. So I think that's already a gift. And I guess even to all the new people, employees that come to us, this is our chance to reach out to them just to share what we believe in. This is our chance to teach them and to let them learn that this is the way. At least they will not be influenced by this world today.
You mentioned that you had your first hotel. So Golden Prince wasn't the first hotel that your family had.
No, no, it's not. Golden Valley Hotel was the one before that. It was built in 1994, 30 years ago.
And Golden Valley is still there, right? Coexist
Still there.
Golden Prince.
Yeah, both hotels are still here by God's grace. 30 years old ang Valley, 18 years old ang Prince this coming September.
Congratulations for Golden Prince and the legacy of Golden Valley. So you've talked much about your hotel life. Who is Vincent outside the hotel?
Other than my family, I spend time with my fellow believers in our church. I spend time with different brothers and sisters, even from different churches, different denominations, even spend time with my fellow associations. I believe that's where God allows me to be the salt and light. Some of them are secular organizations, but at least this is my chance to be the salt and light to them. Just basically spending time with the community, which is almost no different to what we do in the hotel since most people from the community come to our hotel to hang out, laag, chill, tapok. Our young adults ministry, we play badminton every Sundays. So that's a perfect opportunity to bond with our fellow young adults in our own church and also at the same time to keep our physical bodies healthy. At least makasingot ba?
Right. And it's been a while that we as working professionals have played something that sweats like badminton. When you're in high school or college, it was at that point that problems weren't that as complex. So you can just play all you want, sweat all you want them. Unlike now, I'm sure it has been a refresher to be able to relive that part of your youth that you were able to play.
It's also my time that I haven't played since high school. I was playing varsity level. College, maybe occasionally, if we ever get the chance to play, which is once in a year. When we got to the working life, somewhat even mas occasional pa.
Yes. And this is also a chance for us to really take care of our bodies. That as working professionals, we can be working machines as much as we want, but our bodies need time to pause, to take the rest they need. And it's a rest that comes from taking a break from work and doing some activities that can actually recharge the body. So anything that is not related to work that can be helpful for the body to be re-energized. And I'm glad
Yes.
that you were able to find time for that. What are the best highlights of your career as a hotel management trainee?
Highlights of my career, I would say being able to meet new people, meet new owners of different businesses. I was chosen by our executive committee to be a representative of the hotel in a business association called BNI or Business Network International. In just a few months, I received plenty of awards. I was even an awardee in the national conference. Some may not even be for the hotel, but at least I'll be able to help them in other ways, link them up to other people. A simple chat over coffee, like what possibly even what we're doing right now. We can even discover things like what people need, and you can even link me or I can link you to someone who can be able to help provide what you need. And that's something that I realized in the course of my career here. If you're not able to help someone, always ask yourself the question, not what's in it for me, but instead ask, how can I help your business? How can I help you? And they will tell you what they need. And then also in return, hopefully, although not 100% of the time or not exactly right away, they will actually ask you in return, how can I help you? How can I help your business? How can I help make your life better in a way? It has biblical basis, the golden rule. Do to others as you want others to do to you.
As we talk some more, you know that I realized that you are a person who is very eager to practice the faith that you have, and you really reflect it in what you do. You are serious when it comes to making your work as part of your purpose and as part of your mission. You have received awards and recognitions with humility. I'm really proud of you, and I want you to keep on going, just to continue further with that. And I wish you the best.
Also, I'd like to add to that in this mission that God has given you, I guess you have to expect sometimes that there will be people who will not understand you, even your own friends, or even those who say they are Christian, even your Christian friends, misunderstood ka on what you're doing. Yes, you're persevering. Yes, you're faithful to the mission. There are some people who just don't get it, and sometimes may even, due to their lack of understanding, they just leave you. That's just something I come to realize along the path. I'm not sure if this is how God prunes or weeds out people who shouldn't be in your life. Yeah, I guess it's a balancing act. Now, how do you live in peace with? It says in the Bible that as much as possible, live with peace and harmony with others. Going back to the fact that some people are removed out of your life because maybe they have outgrown your in the season already, I guess.
That's a fact. But apart from that, I'm glad that you are becoming the person that you're meant to be. One day you will take a leadership position confidently and bravely.
Thank you, Early Talks. Thank you, Mr. Early Talks.
So, just to wrap this up, what wakes you up early in the morning?
Well, other than my alarm clock that wakes me up every morning, the purpose that God has placed in me, believe it or not, I was still in New Zealand when this purpose planted in my heart. The funny, ironic thing about it is you come to love the country, you came to love the Philippines, and I only came to realize that I was already outside the country. I was living in New Zealand for 9 years. Only then that I come to realize that this country, the Philippines, needs help. For all the years, the childhood years that I lived in the Philippines, Cebu, it was like all right, yeah, we just lived life. But only when we grew up and migrated, that's only when we realized, oh, I need to do something for this country. It is our motherland. This country is the mission field itself, Christ. So these are the people we need to take care of, the 100 million Filipinos that live here. I guess that's something that wakes me up in the morning. I cannot change 100 million Filipinos' lives by myself, but at least with 100 employees that we have under us in our hotel, maybe that's something that God has given me control of or influence of. We start there.
Very well said. Thank you very much, Vince, for your time.
Oh, thank you. For those who want to enter the hotel industry, just be ready. Just like what I said with Leonard's Suite, if you want a simple life that's all planned out, if I were to paraphrase that, don't join the hotel industry because you'll be dealing with people. Dealing with people are not perfect, so you must be ready for that. Thank you.